And yeah, I can't tell you how special it is though to be taking it to the Derngate. It's like so special to me because the Derngate is where I used to go for like panto and like brilliant musicals.
Got
And
a good one coming up this year.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's, and it was like the place where I first got that experience going to the theatre. And I
Yeah.
never forgot that. I think it stayed with me so strongly
How did
that
you feel when you went there then? What was the...
just magic, it's like it's unlike anything else theatre, isn't it? Like obviously
Mm.
TV these days is incredible, and film, and they've come in such a long way in terms of like their capabilities and things, but there's always been something about theatre for me where it's like everyone's in a room experiencing
Mm.
the same thing. They might feel really differently about it, but everyone's come there wanting to be kind of like transported and wanting to have like a communal experience. And
Mm.
um I remember, I think I watched Cats at the Derngate. That was one of my like big memories, I'm pretty sure. And like I remember just being like completely blown away and like gasping, and like all the kids around me were gasping, and it was like that sort of shared wonder, I think, that you really get with theatre, which is it's magic. And so to kind of be going back to the place where I first experienced that is really special for me. It feels great.
So Biosphere, you're premiering it, if you can say that, premiering it
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks' time. And so tell us about the play then. I mean, it's an unusual subject matter choice, I
Yeah.
could say. Tell us about it and what inspired that choice.
Yeah. So I think probably about 8 years ago, I listened to a random podcast. I can't even tell you what the podcast was. I can't remember, about Biosphere 2. And I don't know if you know it. I don't know if you've like,
Well, I had a quick look, but for people that might
yeah,
not know, you might want to
yeah,
just...
yeah. So Biosphere 2 was this incredible real life. It doesn't sound like it should be real. It sounds like it should be a sci-fi film, but it's a real experiment that happened in the 90s, where basically 8 scientists were locked into this sort of glass dome. If you think sort of Eden Project, it's similar to that, but it was on a much bigger scale in Arizona, in America. And essentially, yeah, they were isolated from the world for 2 years, and they were trying to prove that you could recreate Earth within a glass dome, and then that glass dome you could effectively transport anywhere. So you could take it to Mars, you could basically transport the fragile, like incredible ecosystem that we have, and you could transport it onto other planets. So it was kind of like very early days of what is perhaps happening more, sort of, perhaps like it's happening still now. We've got this whole sort of Mars colonization thing going on, but they were kind of like the first people who sort of pioneered this biodome uh experiment, and they called it Biosphere 2 because the Earth is Biosphere 1. Basically, that was the conceit of it.
I'm just going to...
So I heard about this experiment, and also I heard, there's a lot of kind of documented journalism and other things around how it went, and ultimately it was a kind of classic case of humans isolated in a group. There is always these patterns that happen, and obviously massive tensions, and they were trying to prove something massive to the world, and the world just weren't getting it, and the PR of it was just all a bit of a nightmare. And but essentially, I remember thinking that is the most like theatrical thing I've ever heard, of like trapped in a dome, you're trying to create this incredible thing, and then the idea just would not go away. And I didn't write it for ages because I thought that's going to be impossible. Like, how do you know what I mean? Like, how do you convey that, and what's it even about? And but it took a really long time to kind of start working on it, and then I did start working on it. But it just a writer I love, Simon Stevens, he's a brilliant writer. He talks about the hump, which is like an idea that sits with you for a really long time, and you literally just can't get rid of it. And he was
I
like,
get that. I
yeah,
literally get that. And
yeah,
sometimes it can be like 2 years before that
yeah,
idea comes to fruition. But by God, like it's so satisfying when it does come to fruition and it comes out in the way that you see it. Is that how you experience it?
Yeah, kind of. And also I think he's so right in that, when you have these ideas that just stay with you and they
Yeah,
will not go away, I
100%.
think you just have to kind of you have to do something with them, and you have to kind of give them that life and give them fruition. So yeah, I've been right, and then I started writing it for on and off about 5 years, something like that. It's been a long process, but it's been so enjoyable. It's been really enjoyable exploring it, putting it away, going back to it, and all the way through I've kind of had different people along the way who've read it and kind of experienced it, and brilliant actors who've come in and workshopped it with us, some of whom are in the actual performance at Derngate, which is amazing. And we've all just kind of been like, yeah, there's something really interesting here. And yeah, so after 5 years, we reckon we're really excited to kind of like share it with people now and
So
share.
is it sort of similar to that experiment, or are you kind of taking it in a new direction, or?
Yeah, great question. So it's inspired by that experiment, but it's definitely gone in a slightly different direction, because what I was keen to place it in is the kind of current, the things that we have going on right now, which are big questions around like who is making decisions about our future. There are people in the world right now who are basically deciding if we should, go and live on Mars, if we should um, look after the planet we have, or if we should just hit the eject button and go and live on another planet. These are like huge decisions about
Yeah.
the future of humanity, and like it seems like that decision making is being controlled by a very small group of people,
Mm.
at least for now. And yeah, I just think there's so much going on in the world in terms of like tech and our relationship to Earth, and like how we feel about it, and obviously climate change, and yeah, all of those ideas felt so kind of relevant, and they've weirdly got more and more relevant every year that I'm writing this. They get more and more prevalent. I mean, now
Are
I
you
don't.
focusing on it being a more of a climate thing, or is it exploring relationships? I mean, it's about control and who's telling us. Are you
Yeah,
focusing more on climate, or could this be opened out into, into other areas, for example, AI or something?
I would like to think that it's kind of doing both of those things, because I think that's the beauty of what they were trying to do in Biosphere 2, is they were both trying to reconnect us to like how we feel about nature and each other, but they were also looking ahead to like, what is the future of humanity? Should we stay on Earth forever? Should we actually become this, multi-planetary species? Should we be out like exploring the stars? So it's kind of doing all those things, but then ultimately as well, it's really exploring those relationships between the people who were stuck in this dome together, being stuck in a greenhouse with several other scientists. So it kind of explores both those layers of sort of the interpersonal tension, that kind of isolation, and the weight of such a big, you're handling such a huge experiment, like the pressure of that, the pressure of being watched all the time. There were people watching them constantly
It's a
outside.
bit like Big Brother, right?
Very much. It's like Big Brother, yeah, in space or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they were kind of dealing with all of that, and then you've kind of got everything else around it as well. So yeah, hopefully it's a really kind of like enjoyable, energetic exploration of
Are
it.
you wanting the audience to come away with thinking about particular things, or how do you want people to react to it?
I would love people to come out having had a really good night at the theatre. That's my number one thing. Is like I'm always driven by story first and foremost. So like I want to recreate that experience that I had when I used to go to the Derngate, where I would leave the theatre and I'd be like, that was the best thing ever. And just that experience of like having witnessed something and been a part of something amazing. Like we're definitely experimenting with like little immersive elements throughout the show. And then ultimately I think I just want people to come away and think about maybe their own relationship to like you know, how they relate to the planet that we live on, how they feel about it as a home. And yeah, questions about, you know, what are they thinking about for the future? What are they excited about for humanity? Because ultimately, like, you know, we've got a lot of challenges ahead, but we've also got choices, and we've got
But who's making those choices, right?
that is the question. That
That
is
is the question. It's
and
not Hamlet.
maybe it's something we want to all kind of start thinking more about, and maybe exploring in our local community as well, you know, like yeah, I hope that answers your question.
And so in terms of how many people are in the play?
So we've got four actors, four brilliant actors. In the original Biosphere, there was like 8 of them, but you know, we've condensed that into 4, and we've kind of condensed those personalities and those the kind of tensions and everything I was talking about into those 4. And yeah, they're brilliant actors. I can't wait for everyone to see them there.
In terms of staging, is it a simple set or is it?
Um, it's relatively simple, but I won't spoil it because I'm
Okay,
actually really excited about what they've
right.
done in terms of our brilliant set designer and director and sound designer actually have done a fantastic job of creating a, like I was saying, like a kind of very immersive feel, but in a relatively simple way. You know, we want this show to not be kind of inaccessible for anyone. Like we'd love to take it to, you know, rural theatres. We'd love to, you know, engage with audiences outside London. And so, you know, being nimble and kind of nimble, but it's very energetic, and there's yeah, there's some really like key elements. And the thing I'm really excited about is the sound design. Our sound designer has created like this incredible experience of kind of the pure kind of like natural world that you're going to be immersed in for the biosphere, but then the way that reacts, you know, because ultimately it was a technical you know, it was
Yeah.
highly technical as well. So they've played with kind of blending those two things. So that's
Sounds really exciting because I
yeah,
mean the world is becoming more interactive
yeah,
and multi-dimensional, multifaceted, using all different aspects of um, multimedia. So
yeah.
sounds really exciting. So when is it being staged? It's at the Derngate Theatre, right? It's a big theatre, Phil. When is it being staged?
Yes, we're at the Derngate, but we're luckily in the
Oh,
studio.
in the room
Lovely.
downstairs.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's part of their GenFest program, which
Yep.
is them supporting kind of emerging artists from the Midlands, which is brilliant. And it's on, let me triple check so I don't give you the wrong date. It's
It's
Friday.
on the programme.
It is on the
The Royal Derngate's programme
I
on
just
the website.
know that I'd give you, because we're also doing a little mini sharing in London the night before,
Okay.
um, just to kind of share it with
If you can't find it, we'll just put it in the
oh, I've got it. It's right in front of me. The 21st, Friday 21st.
Friday, 21st of November,
Yeah,
in the
7 p.m.
Derngate downstairs.
in the underground.
Be there to
Yeah.
watch something exciting and innovative, and it will make you think.
Yeah. And also, yeah, I just hope it will be a really kind of, it's quite twisty, it's quite thrillery, it's quite intense. So I'm hoping people are gonna get excited, have a glass of wine and enjoy it.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Thank you so much. Excellent. And